It looks like certain parts of the OCG have started to find out the Beast of the Pharaoh is an absurdly good card. We also have some Subterror, some Blackwings, and some other goodies for you today. Alright, to the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-loving crap out of that subscribe button, smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So what is going on here? Well, I've been seeing Beast of the Pharaoh start to get very hyped up in the OCG here, because if this card is sent to the graveyard for a synchro summon, you can target a level 4 lower zombie monster in your graveyard and revive it. And guess what? This guy just revives itself, revives another copy of itself. Zombie shenanigans. You know, especially when you start to explore more of the zombie synchro toolbox shenanigans, you're opening up some very interesting cans of worms here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of the Assault Synchron with 2 copies of Beast of the Pharaoh. We have 1 Illegal Knight with triple copies of Jet Synchron. We have 1 Junk Synchron with triple copies of Maxi. We have triple copies of Sakitama with triple copies of the Stardust Synchron. We have 1 Stardust Trail with triple copies of Water Enchantress. We have 2 Call by the Grave, 1 Cross of Desner, 1 Draco Back, your 1 Faithful Adventure, your 1 Foolish Barrel, your 2 Rite of Armesier, 1 Smoke Grenade, 1 copy of Stardust Illumination, 1 Talents, and triple copies of the Tuning. Then, of course, we have 1 Trishula, 1 Stardust, 1 Stardust Charge Warrior, 1 Shooting Riser with 1 Satellite Warrior, 1 Omega with 1 Power Tool Brave Dragon. We have 1 Junk Speeder with 1 Herald, 1 Chaos Ruler, your 1 Chaos Angel, your 1 Bysteel Patar, your 1 Baron, your 1 Axel, and your 1 Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. And, of course, you got the 1 Durus Worm, your 1 Magna Hut, triple copies of Droll, 1 Keldo with 2 Mudora, 1 Change of Heart, triple Cosmic, your 1 Dark Ruler, your 1 Thrust, and your 1 Red Reboot here, wrapping up your take for Assault Synchron, aka zombie good stuff, little guy. Next up here is Subterror. First of all, I am happy to see that Subterror is functioning. It's been a good second since we have seen this deck kind of just get the chance to do something here. Now remember, there's still very anti-tier elements based in the OCG, so you're going to see a lot of cards like this get the chance to shine yet again. And then, of course, we're playing some Runic Destruction in here. This deck can take a turn to kind of slow down and try to adjust the pace of things in order to kind of keep things up, which is very interesting overall. So do keep that in mind. So we are playing triple copies of the Subterror Fiendus, triple copies of Guru with 1 copy of the Nemesis Archer. We have triple copies of the Maxi with triple copies of Ash. We have 2 Dimension Shifter with 1 Effect Veiler. We have triple copies of the Hidden City, triple copies of Extra for Draw Power. Then we have 2 Necro Valley, 2 copies of the Flashing Fire with 1 Terraforming. We have 1 Set Rotation with 2 copies of Final Battle. We have triple copies of Infinite Permanence, 2 copies of There Can Only Be One, 2 Goes in Match with 1 Metaverse, and 2 copies of our favorite No Fun Allowed card, Solemn Strike. Down the extra deck, we have 2 Access Code Talkers, 2 copies of Selene, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix with 1 to Hark, 2 copies of Asa with 2 copies of Anima. We have 1 copy of Gary, 1 copy of Moonin, and then we have triple copies of Hugin here, wrapping up your extra deck. Now do remember, you can actually call this out off of the Flashing Fire and protect your back row. So you do get some multi-purposing there. Kind of cute, actually. We have 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird with 1 Ghost Ogre. We have 1 Artifact Lancia with 1 Space Rock. We have 1 Arby's Featherist with 2 Cosmic Cyclone. We have 2 Evenly Matched with 2 Soldierin, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your take for Subterror. And like I said, I like how anti-meta this deck feels. And I mean, I also like the fact that you have a very small package in here for some protection along with popping Social Summon monsters. Next up here is Evil Eye. Holy moly. So first of all, disclaimer, I love this deck. I love the fact that we can see Evil Eye even actually kind of show up out here, even in a semblance of things, and actually kind of show us that, hey, you know, we're still a little bit of a rogue contender. We're not like the best, but, you know, we'll still be able to Surziel on up. You have skill drains to hide behind. I mean, is this a super fair meta deck? It's something. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have 1 copy of the Basilius. We have 2 copies of Ballistis, and then 1 copy of the Kaltarparis. Okay. We have triple copies of Maxi with 1 Space Rock. We have triple copies of Surziel. 2 copies of Called by the Grave with your 1 Evil Eye Awakening. We have triple copies of the Evil Eye Domain. Then we have 2 copies of Gargonia and 2 copies of Selene. We have 1 copy of Evil Eye Repose. Triple copies of Evil Eye Unleashed, 2 Pot of Prosperity with your 1 Raigeki, 1 Terraforming, then we have 1 Evil Eye Defeat, 1 Retribution, triple Imperm, and triple copies of Skill Drain here, wrapping up your main deck. Down in the next deck, we have 2 Zurziel, 1 News Reporter with 1 Master King Archfiend. We have 2 copies of Gorgon, 1 copy of Pain Gainer, 1 Seven Sins, your 1 Syncada King, your 1 Zeus, 2 copies of Stone Darius, 2 Devicer King Machinix, and then 1 Chaos Angel. Then you have the 1 Druis Worm with your 1 Magna Hut, 2 copies of Droll, 1 Gamma Seal, 1 Cosmic with 2 Dark Ruler. We have a Harpy's Feather Duster, a Lightning Storm, 2 Evenly Matched, a Red Reboot, and 2 copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your Evil Eye shenanigans. Next up here, this was Scareclaw Vice's Starfrost. Now, this is a lot more meta-oriented than you've really got the chance to see, but it is kind of nice to see where some of these Scareclaw ideas are starting to go. And obviously, once we get Vicious as Stroud here, giving this deck a little bit more solid of a boss monster pickup, it'll be really nice. Obviously, you know, hiding behind Tryhard is still very, very good at the end of the day. Don't underestimate a lot of the power that you're going to get with this deck because of, you know, these 2 cards. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyspring. We have triple copies of DD Crow. We have 1 Fenrir with triple copies of Maxi. We have triple copies of Acro with triple copies of Astra. We have 2 copies of Balone with 2 copies of the Scareclaw Kashtira. And we got triple Reinhardt and 2 Vices Starfrost. Then we got 2 Called by the Grave, triple Cosmic Cyclone with triple Dark Ruler no more. We have 1 Race Sloth, 2 copies of Rectophobia, 1 Rhoda with 1 Arrival. We have 1 Defanging, 1 Terraforming, and 2 copies of the Twin Soul. And down in the next deck, we have the triple copies of Tryheart, 2 Lightheart with 1 Unicorn. We have 1 Donner Dagger for Hire, 1 Dehark, 1 Cross Sheep with 1 Apollosa, 1 Chaos Angel, 1 Baron, and then we have 2 copies of Vicious Shroud. And then side deck here we have triple Droll and Lockbird, 2 copies of Exceed Encore, 2 copies of Evenly Matched, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, 1 Red Reboot, 1 Scareclaw Splash, and then triple copies of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your Scareclaw, effectively anti-meta good stuff shenanigans. Overall, not too bad for what you want to see for this deck. Next up here, we have Blackwings. Now, I will tell you for what we're seeing for Blackwings here, a lot more of this combo stuff is really starting to shine. Obviously, you know, the Blackwing Assault Engine is very good. Also, the fact that, you know, they now have the the Waving Moon here, which gives you another free special summon, which is really, really good. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyspring. We have triple copies of the Snow Blast, 1 copy of the Dust, triple copies of the Sandstorm. We have 1 copy of the Waning Moon, and then we have triple copies of Poison Wind, triple copies of the Phantom Glimmer, triple copies of the Emblem of Wandering, and then we have 2 Zephyros the Elite, triple Droll with the 1 Ghost Ogre, triple Maxi, 2 Black Feather Whirlwind, triple copies of Black Whirlwind, 2 copies of Called by the Grave, your 1 Crossout, your 2 Pot of Prosperity, and your 1 Twin Shadow. Then we have the 1 Unicorn, the 1 Dehark, 1 copy Chaos Angel, 1 Das Peter, 1 Full Armor with 1 Silverwind. We have 1 Nothung with 2 Boreal Storm, 2 Blackwing Dragon with 2 Blackwing Assault Dragon. Then we have the 1 copy of the Onamaru, the Divine Thunder. And you get the 1 Pinkertops, triple Turtle, 1 Ghost Ogre, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, triple Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Infinite Permanence here, wrapping up Blackwings. And our last list we have here is Mana Dome, sporting off the fact that we can Elemental Hero Prism, drop the Vices, go into Lightheart, and then start combo, because it's just how it works. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyspring. We have 1 Baldrake with 2 Druis Worm, 1 copy of Magna Hut with 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird. We have 2 Prisma with triple copies of the Harless, and then triple copies of Meek. We have triple copies of Reinhardt with triple copies of Maxi, and then we have 1 Reinhardt with 2 Vices Starfrost, 2 Hero Lives with 2 Called by the Grave, 1 Dark Will No More, triple copies of Abscission, triple copies of the Carlium, 1 Rectophobia with 2 Arrival, 1 Imperm, and 1 Reframing. And then, of course, we have the 1 Elf, your 1 Lightheart with your 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Apollosa with 1 Hope Harbinger. We have 1 Ching-Ying with 1 Stardust, 1 Omega with 1 copy of the Eye Green, 1 Chaos Angel with your 1 Peter. Then we have 1 copy of Baron, 1 copy of Excel Synchro, and 2 copies of Vices of Stroud. Then you have the 2 Divine Karate, triple Book, triple copies of Cosmic, 2 Dark Ruler, 2 Lightning Storm, and triple copies of Evenly Matched here, wrapping up your chunk of good stuff out here for the format. So what do you guys think about all of these very cool, interesting lists? There's a lot of cool, interesting things happening here, and I'm very curious to see, you know, if these will continue on with the trends here, but I like what I'm seeing. So please, if you comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.